Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, I'm pretty sure y'all hearing about this Project 25 going around. 2025. Woo! Yeah, see? They want you to be scared. They want you to be worried. They want you to be concerned. They want to not give you nothing. That's what they want to do, y'all. They keep trying to fearmonger you as Aboriginal Negroes of America like y'all some cowards. Like y'all some cowards that anytime something go boom, y'all just gonna be jumping and scared to death and do whatever they say in order to not be so afraid. Well, those days have come and gone, man. We gonna walk around like we got our cojones in our hand. Like Pot said, y'all, we gonna stand up and hold our, and be men. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what's going on with Project 25, Trump, Biden, any of them, at the end of the day, we still in ghetto, slums, and hoods. That's the reality to it. We still driving around abandoned businesses, abandoned houses, ain't getting no type of funding for small businesses in our community, and we ain't being able to empower ourselves by actual resources and economic growth. That's all we need to be worried about. That's it. If we ain't getting paid, if we ain't being able to be the ones who hire our children and give our children careers and jobs and opportunity, then we ain't moving nowhere. That's just what it is. That's just what's going down. So all this fear mongering, man, we ain't gonna be afraid of none of that. What's gonna benefit us? That's what it is. See, they want you to get out and vote like you're supposed to stop Project 25. Stop that. You gotta stop it. Then what? Then what? You right back to ghetto slums and hoods. Everybody else getting economic flow over you, and you ain't being able to move economically in 100 and almost 150 years. Like our brother said, Dr. Claude Anderson, look him up. He breaks down the numbers all the time. Our elder, before he somehow vanishes off the scene. You know how that goes. So look him up, you know what I mean? Because we got professionals that break down our plight. They want us to keep trying to act like, woo, we supposed to be scared every single time they put out something about what's going on with white supremacy and white control and white dominance and white political power and white economic power that they have over us. That been there. We've been dealing with that forever. That's just the reality to it. Ain't nothing changed. We went from emancipation, a proclamation, to mass incarceration. That's where we at. That's where we at. That's the reality to it. And that's based off of no economic movement in our community. No moolah, no money, no tangibles, no ability to actually fund our own reality like we had at one time when the black dollar was circulating 100 times in our community before we spent it with any other nation, before it left our nation. Well, they Jedi mind tricked us with that and fear-monged us with that, with the civil rights movement, and we got to integrate and all this garbage. And in the end, we integrated our dollars with everybody else, and then they flooded our communities with all sorts of immigrants and everybody else. And now we don't have no businesses. We don't have no grocery stores. We don't have no hospitals. We don't have no banks. We don't have no corner stores. We don't have no gas stations. You see, we don't have no schools controlled in our name. We don't have no Negro leagues. We don't have shit. Because we keep being afraid and then sucker punched behind our neck when we ain't paying attention. Not in the violent form, but in the thought form of movement and paperwork and pen work. That's the reality to it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So we gotta wake up to that. We gotta stop allowing them to fearmonger us like we afraid. Fear don't got nowhere to stand in politics, man. We trying to get up on a political game off of being under an economic embargo. We need economics, man, that allow us to get bank loans and grants in abundance like everyone else, funding from the state, the federal government, and the United States government like everybody else, so we can open up businesses. So we can have our own little Savannah, our own little Chinatowns, and so on. You know what I mean? So that way we can help our children. Help our men be the men that they need to be. Instead of having to look over their shoulder every 5 minutes for the business that they got, the sales that they're doing, the marketing that they're doing. Because that's the reality to it. Our men are great, great individuals. Our women are great individuals. As a collective, we are great people as a nation. But we need economic growth. We need the ability to be able to self-empower ourselves, to be able to do things for our own nation. That's the reality to voting, right? Ain't that's what they said? But we ain't getting resources like the brown communities, the Asian communities, the Arab communities, the colonizers community. We get in the bunk of the hill, the very bare minimum of what they want to give us. And then you turn around and have an issue like Flint, Michigan water and many other different places. These things are not by accident, y'all. This is by y'all running around here accepting what these wealthy and rich are telling y'all to be about instead of what you need in your communities. What you need and what you see ain't happening in your communities. Same thing with the violence in our communities, the crime in our communities. Well, we need something for the people to do that we control, that we can actually give them in order to sway them from doing what they're doing. Something that benefits them in the form of what? Economic growth, resources, tangibles that they can see, touch, feel, that changes their lives for the better. Not this spookism that they keep selling us. So hey, 2025 coming around and they got an agenda. Well, shoot, KKK got an organization now after what they have done to our people, right? Establishment right now after what they done to our people, right? Jim Crow laws, huh? The law is still a law, right? Yeah, exactly. So we already been through all those agendas and still dealing with those agendas. So why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? We ain't never been afraid. We don't care about what they're doing. That's their business, right? Ain't that's what it's supposed to be? It ain't benefiting our lives. Unless being in ghetto slums and hoods is a benefit. Being demonized, being at the federal census for ethnic hate crimes in America, being #1 on the list, is a benefit to be hated #1 in the country if that's the benefit you're looking for. Because we already there. We already there. Being the only nation that went through crimes against humanity done to our bloodlines in the form of Holocaust, massacres, and genocide, and being the survivors of it and never got justice by the system or anybody else agenda. We already there. And we already that. So what you afraid of? Obviously, the system don't care about us and never did, no matter which way they sway. No matter which way, left, right, middle, up, down, around, you name it. It ain't never benefited us. That's just what it is. So y'all better stop being all spookism about wealthy and rich people who... You better go watch the Django and see how Samuel Jackson was in that movie and then ask yourself what you're really looking at when you look at your wealthy and rich people that supposedly care about you. They care so much about you, your wealthy and rich that look like you, then ask them why they ain't putting in small businesses in our communities like you to be able to self-empower our people so we can move our dollars amongst ourselves and spend our dollars with ourselves by having businesses in our community based off of the multiple wealthy and rich people that we have that look like us. Why they haven't done that yet? Ain't nobody stopping them. Ain't nobody stopping them. Or is they? Or is they signing contracts to where they can't do anything in our exactly. This is the reality to it. So stand up. Be your own boss. Hold your own cojones and let them know I'm not moving off of what I need, because our nation need economic growth. Our nation need real resources in our community like you giving everybody else. If you can put to a side just for asylum seekers alone, then you can put to a side just for Aboriginal Negroes alone. That's just the reality to it. With that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.